Well, hey, and welcome back to another watch video, another Rolex video. You guys are probably sick of them. They're probably all across the internet, but I figured there's a few more things that I wanted to talk about my Rolex 114060. I've had this since March last year, so almost coming up to a year. So I think I've got just a few unique insights I wanted to share with you guys. Firstly, I do want to say thank you to all the people who watched the last video, who's commented and subscribed. It was awesome to see everyone's different comments about this. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. Now, I wanted to go through 5 things that I wasn't expecting. Now, being someone who doesn't have a lot of authorized dealers where I live, I was only able to spend about 20 minutes with the updated version, the 124060. Was able to kind of get a bit of a feel for it and really realize that's what I wanted. So when I pulled the trigger on the 114060, I had some things I wasn't expecting. And so here they are. Now, the first thing that I wasn't expecting was the weight of it. Now, I know it's made of steel and steel's heavy, but I was genuinely surprised the first time I put it on my wrist. It feels really, really substantial. Obviously being steel and being a bit more of a bulkier watch in terms of that Maxi Case, it is heavy. So in terms of how much that weighs, when I put it on a scale here, it's 149 grams. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it does always have a bit of a presence on your wrist. You don't put it on and sort of forget that you're wearing it. It does always add that tiny bit of extra bulk. Now, as someone who's actually come from wearing my Apple Watch quite a lot, now the Apple Watch is literally a third of this. So the Apple Watch is about 50 grams, including the strap. So when you're putting on a Submariner, it is double, 3 times the weight of the Apple Watch. So that's one thing to note, is the weight. It feels substantial. I actually think it adds to the luxury aspect of this product, but there you go. Now, the second thing that I wasn't expecting was how easily the steel scratches. Now, I'm someone who lives a pretty active lifestyle, but a lot of the time it's me working from home, it's me using my laptop and things like that. Now, I was surprised to see how many different scratches this watch has gotten. And this is only from about a year of wear and tear. Now, if I know I'm going to be moving furniture, or if I know I'm going to be outside hiking, I'm not going to wear this watch. I'll put on my Apple Watch instead. But it's interesting now just showing you a few close-ups here where there's some serious scratches. Look, the great thing is I don't care at all about these scratches. This is not an investment piece or a watch. This is a watch I want to wear and enjoy. So as you can see towards the top of the bracelet here, there is a lot of different scratches kind of working its way down. Pretty visible. There's not many on the clasp, which is great. I've actually just been putting a piece of tape across the clasp so it doesn't scratch so much. But across the top, around the 12 o'clock bracelet side, look, there is quite a few scratches there. Also, similarly, on the 6 o'clock side of the bracelet, there is quite a bit of markings there. Also, side of the case, there's a few, not too bad though. The worst here is the side of the clasp. Now, as you can see on the side of the clasp here, there is scratches all up and down the side, both sides here. Look, as I said, I'm not really too fussed about it. Now, another thing that I was surprised about is in this world of Instagram, we're used to seeing watches up close and they look way bigger than they actually look in person. So one of my concerns here was that the Maxi Case would be too big. But I can say, as someone who owns this watch and loves this watch, the Maxi Case is not too big. The way that it fits around the wrist, I really appreciate it. And ever since I've bought it, I never think the Maxi Case is wrong. It suits really well. It adds to the bulk of it. It doesn't look uneasy. And for me, that's caught me by surprise. I thought it might have been an issue, but it's not at all. Fourthly, one of the things here that I've really appreciated is the flashiness of it and the lume. Now, flashiness isn't really like the great descriptive word, but the way that the bezel sort of glows and moves in the light is really quite shiny and it's quite eye-catching. And the way that the applied lume looks is great. The lume is really great after being outside for even just like a couple of minutes coming inside. It's glowing like crazy. And so that's really, really cool to see, considering the price point of these. So that really caught me off guard how strong the lume was. I've had Seikos in the past, I've had a few other dive watches, and this one truly has the best lume. Now lastly, one thing which is a bit of a strange one is 5 things that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting that more people would notice it, and maybe that's just spending too much time in watch circles or too much time on Instagram and the forums and knowing how common a Submariner is. But in person, I've maybe seen 3 in the last year on people's wrists, just in day-to-day walking about in the city, for example. And so one thing that's just interesting is no one notices. And even if people do notice, no one says anything about it. So the interesting thing is you get this expectation that people will really go, wow, you've got a Rolex, isn't that amazing? I know exactly how much it costs. No one knows that. Even people who know it's a Rolex, I was asking a few people, think that they're about probably $5,000. So no one has any idea about this. So that's one thing I actually wasn't expecting about this. So the first one there, the weight, the substantial nature of it. 2, how easily the metal scratches. 3, the Maxi Case for me is perfect. The enlarged lugs, I don't care about at all. I love it. 4, the strength of the Lume. And 5, people, might think the Submariner is common, but it's not common. From every other person who's not into watches, the Submariner is not common. Look, I think it's a great piece. What are some things that you've noticed about the Submariner that changed your mind or you'd like to know? I'm happy to go through any questions. Stay safe and all the best. Peace.